Hello and welcome to episode 204 of First Geek 411. I'm your host, Cameron Franklin, and with me, as always, from the Great White North, Shanine. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I'm so distracted by this wide-eyed Emma. We're good.
And with us, my best man, Chris Nicolay. Chris, how are you doing today?
Hello. I'm pretty good. I'm well. You know, stuff. It's Monday. I'm ready for a nap. Always ready for a nap. Naps are the best.
I miss nap time. It was so much better when it was an official time of the day versus having to not do stuff in order to take a nap.
Yeah.
This week, we're catching up on some D&D news, talking about Twitter, and then the Thor Love and Thunder teaser that recently released. And then instead of a top three, we're going to also talk about some of the future content we have coming for the channel. So stay tuned for that. Before we get into what we've been up to, as always, you can find us as One Geek 411 on social media. You can join our Discord server if you want to chat, or shoot us an email over at 1stgeek411@gmail.com. And you can watch live on Twitch Monday nights, 6:45 Mountain Time, and find the videos over on our YouTube, where you can like, comment, and subscribe. And you can also check out that Redbubble store if you want to buy any First Geek merch. Let's get into what we have been up to. Shanine, why don't you kick us off?
All right. Still busy watching Hunter x Hunter. Still loving it. Still obsessed with Hisoka and Killua. I think we're at the beginning-ish of season 3. So good chunk of the way through.
What are they currently doing?
They just got to York New City, and there's the underground
Tournament?
What's the word? No, selling things.
Market?
Auction. Market. Yeah. What's the word? Stuff and things. Yeah. That's what's happening right now.
Okay. Still good then. Yep.
And I know we kind of went past it quickly, but you tackled those names like a boss. You had like no hesitation there. Like,
I couldn't remember any
Cameron
of them
will
last
always
time,
acknowledge
at this
people.
point, I remember them all.
Yeah.
We're good.
I'm just always impressed. Like, maybe that's a low bar, and maybe it's because I have trouble with people's names that are like I talk to on a regular basis. So whenever people tackle like what I would consider a hard name with no hesitation, I'm like, oh, ready to rock and roll today. I like it.
Yeah, and I think last time I forgot to mention that like Leorio's voice was so familiar, and I couldn't figure out why. And then it turned out to be Matt Mercer. And I was like, yep.
Of course
it is.
Oh, you're watching an English dub.
Always. I just watch English.
Sorry.
I came here to watch, not to read.
Because now I'm trying to think of like what their characters are going to sound like with these different voice actors. I'm like, that weirds me out a little bit.
Yeah, Matt Mercer is using his Dorian voice. So that's why I was like, this sounds so familiar, but it's not like another anime voice. It is, but also it wasn't at the same time. And speaking of anime, my husband got me to start playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. It took me a little bit to catch on, but I am crushing it with an all-ladies team. So won my first match the other day. It was very exciting.
Waifus only?
Yeah.
Since it's an anime, you gotta go.
Who's on Team Waifu?
I don't remember any of these ones' names. Okay. One of the androids. Okay. One of her special moves is to turn the opponent into like a fruit tart and eat them. So whichever that one would be.
Isn't that 18? Android 18?
I don't know. She
It's
has
been a
long
long
hair.
time
Does,
since I've Dragon Balled.
does Android 18 have long hair? That one. Who else did I have? I think Kefla was one of them. That sounds right. And then I can't remember who the other one was. It was a good team, though.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yep. This Saturday, Lore Olympus was back. I blazed through all the previously available episodes and then found out that it was on hiatus, and I was like, oh no. What
You
have
were
I
all caught
done?
up.
I am all caught up, but that's the problem, is that now I have to wait a week for one comic instead of reading like 12.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I'm very excited it's finally back. And I didn't actually have to wait that long compared to people who were caught up the whole time. And in other news, I was on 11Z's, our good friend Keelity's podcast, talking about 11 times we saw Jesus in the doctor.
It was a great episode. I listened to it today.
Thanks.
Also, apparently, we were at LeakyCon together in 2018.
Nice.
So, since confirmed through Twitter. So, what was your favorite of the 11 ways you saw Jesus in the doctor?
I mean, it's always gonna be Clara and 12. Yep.
We will put a link to that in the show notes so that people can go check out 11Z's. Chris, what have you been up to?
It's a good question. What did I put in the notes? Where did I put my notes? I've been watching Lucifer more, a little bit in the background as I try to do stuff. So that's good. Almost getting caught up. I know there's rumors about a next season, or whether or not it's canceled. Who knows what's going on with Netflix ownership of the show now. But other than that, what else? What else I do? Caught up on some anime. Don't have a ton to talk about there yet. Still making my way through current season stuff. But big news. Yesterday, Sunday, I got a random call and got to go on a nice little hour-long helicopter ride over the mountains and the lakes. And it was beautiful and made my weekend.
Yep, I'm super curious about this. Like, you posted some pictures in Discord. So like somebody was just like, "Hey, I have a helicopter. You want to go for a ride?"
Pretty much. So my oldest friend Nick, his dad is a corporate pilot. But 5 years ago, I think, about 5 years ago, he picked up piloting helicopters as well. And then since then, he's gone through a few different helicopters and planes and like buying and trading his own personal craft. But right now, he currently owns a little 4-seater helicopter. He has been in talks to buy a like a helicopter touring service up in Glacier area as well. But those keep falling through. So like he's just like, when you're ready, you'll let me know. But yeah, so he has a little 4-seater craft and he's occasionally taking us up. I haven't been yet. I haven't had a chance to. So this was like my first opportunity yeah, he called my mom, let me know. It was like the weather was surprisingly good, so it was a good day for it. And so I let him know, yeah, I'm on my way. And I had to find 2 friends to go with me. Well, I didn't have to, but so made my way through some contacts and finally found a couple people who were last minute available, and we went up and enjoyed a little ride.
Nice. That's super cool.
I'm well connected here in Montana, don't you know?
I mean, there's only like 15 people. So.
I don't know, by the number of houses we saw, that like new development over where we were flying is ridiculous. I'm just saying, people need to stop it. There's way too many lake houses now. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Nice. So for me, we finished Our Flag Means Death.
Don't ruin it.
So shout out to Taika, continuing to do no wrong. Really enjoyed it. I liked how it messed with the pirate tropes, things like that. Very silly, very like Taika wasn't the director, but it very much has like his sense of humor. You can kind of see its like fingerprints, or wasn't the writer. Yeah, so definitely really enjoyed that. Liked again how it messed with the normal piratey things, and yeah, legitimately laughed out loud a couple times. Part of the finale really got me. And so hopefully we'll get a season 2. Yeah. And then on Saturday, went and played in the Streets of New Capenna pre-release at my LGS. So had a lot of fun. It's my first time playing, like, using air quotes, competitive Magic in a long time. In the sense of like there were actual prizes and you were incentivized to do well. And so like pre-releases are like the most chill competitive Magic gets, because no one really knows what any of the cards do. Everyone just kind of has a vague idea of like, oh, is that the one that kind of does this? And so there's a whole lot of everyone trying to read everyone else's cards and stuff like that. So I went 2-1, lost in the finals. A very like nail bitery final set of games, but it was a lot of fun. Opened an Obnixilis, so that was hype.
Gross.
Basically the amount of like my entry fee was paid for with that card, so pretty hyped about that. The weird thing was, so the way that it works is it's sealed, so they give you 6 booster packs, you open them, and then you play with those cards. The person that was sitting across from me in our assigned seats also got an Obnixilis. And so it was just like it's a very weird thing that happened as we were sitting across from each other. And then the last big thing, and this will tie into our news discussion topics, is I've been reading Thor, the Goddess of Thunder. I've read it before, and I was very excited to go back and reread it after the teaser that we got. And then I also have Thor, Who Holds the Hammer, and so I'll be reading that this week. But yeah, I really like the Goddess of Thunder. It's a very fun introduction to the character, and yeah, very excited about what we have going forward with that, which I guess will bring us into our discussion topics. Mine is that we got the Thor Love and Thunder teaser. Have y'all had a chance to watch the teaser?
No. But it's going up right now.
I say, Chris, what are we Googling?
Hands were once used for battle.
It's playing right now for everyone to watch.
Now they're but humble tools for peace.
And so I really am hyped about this. I know I've kind of gone on the record on the cast before that this is one of the MCU projects that I'm most excited about. And so what is y'all's level of excitement for Love and Thunder?
Pretty high. I don't know. I'm excited for more like comedy Thor. And I don't know. I was like through almost the entire teaser and I was like, yeah, Thor and the Guardians. And I was like, wait, isn't Jane supposed to be in this? And like literally the next second, I'm like, yes, she is.
Trailer obviously doesn't have enough of her yet, so
yeah.
I'm really excited for this. Because it's also like it's just bringing Thor full circle is kind of what I'm most looking forward to, because Jane just disappeared for from the story there for a bit, and I'm so happy they brought her back.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful for however it was that Taika convinced Natalie to come back. I'm just super
Again,
excited.
he could do
about
no
it.
wrong, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, if Taika's doing it, I'm in.
I was talking to Deanna, and I was like, man, Taika really just needs to actually be a good person in real life. Because I make the joke that Taika can do no wrong quite a bit. And I'm just like super afraid that that'll change someday, and then people will just like post all these clips. But but I really like this trailer or teaser. I'm excited for
random other videos are playing. My bad.
I mean, it's still Love and Thunder related, so
right.
It's just Screen Crush with Ryan Airy, and so, but yeah, what'd y'all think of the hammer at the end? I love the broken hammer, or previously broken.
It's too Narsil for me.
To what?
The blade that was broken.
Oh.
No, I'm curious to learn more about what's going on. Like the way they cut these sometimes are like as someone who's been following it, you pick up on those things. You're like, wait, what? And now you're like, they better explain this. I'm gonna be really annoyed if they don't.
Yep. I know for me, what I'm really hoping for is that we get a cool scene of the hammer assembling for Jane. Like that is whatever when we find out she's worthy, since they obviously can't do the reveal like they did in the comics. But I'm really hoping that that's like the moment that we get for however that is going to work. I really hope that that's what we get. But yeah. Have either of y'all read any Jane Foster Thor before?
Nope, not yet.
No. Well, if you happen to still have your Marvel Unlimited subscription from when we were forced to do it for Shang-Chi, highly recommend. I could just based on the little bit of it that I have read. And then this kind of ties in with what Shanine was saying earlier, but I love the like tonal dissonance between Love and Thunder and Multiverse of Madness. And I am all in for it. Like, give me my kind of spoopy superhero movie and give me this pure comedy, like 80s, whatever, like synthesizer stuff. I'm so ready for all of this.
Like, I feel like this is just going to be like, how do you do gods in cinematic universes better than DC is what this is. It's like, you watched Wonder Woman, what is it, 84 or whatever?
Yeah, 1984.
This is what they should have done. It's what the Thor movie is.
Yeah. Chris, what do you got for us?
Mostly just like, so all this month, for those that aren't aware, so first we got news that Elon Musk had purchased a 9% controlling share of the highest percentage of any one individual on Twitter, and was going to be on their board. And then he talked about taking Twitter private and all the changes he wanted to make. And then Twitter kind of self-destructed and was like, nope, we're not going private. We're not going to do that. And then today, ultimately, we got the announcement that Twitter and Musk make a deal for $44 billion for him to purchase Twitter. And will ultimately take it private, or potentially, because he's been talking a lot about the First Amendment. This is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Have you guys been following this at all?
Shocks me that this is real.
shocks me that one person could do this
Yeah.
randomly, like on a whim. This is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure it's fine for Twitter. Like, I'm sure he'll do something cool with Twitter. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, his companies are weird. But just like that kind of wealth just shouldn't exist on an individual level. So yeah, it kind of makes me hate him more.
Mm-hmm.
Like what his companies are doing, don't like what he's doing. It's also he can better manipulate the stock market too. So he's just going to get more money out of this. Because that's exactly what he does on Twitter. That's all he does.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulate the stock market.
Is this gonna be like the guy that like founded MySpace, then everyone was his friend on MySpace? Is this gonna be the same thing here, where
Is it
everyone just
Tom?
automatically follows Elon now?
Possibly. I mean, he does respond to everything. Like, he lives on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. It's just absurd to me. And also, does that mean Trump's account's going to be reinstated?
No,
Questions.
only Elon can tell.
Asking the big questions.
And he'll be going to Mars soon anyway. So,
But yeah, so at $54.20 a share, I mean, if since they approve this, go ahead and buy a bunch of Twitter stock. You know, as long as it's below 54.20, you're gonna make a profit. Because that's what you're gonna. I don't know. This is Not that I'm on Twitter a ton, but I know Shanine's a big on Twitter.
Yep.
That's her primary social life.
Social media life.
So social life. I meant what I said. No, just.
You're not wrong. I want it to be wrong.
But yeah, and that's kind of my biggest thing. So like, just that's all I want to talk about. That's all that's been on my mind today. There's other things, but we'll save it. $44 billion.
Shanine, what do you got for us?
All right. In other acquisitions news, I
Almost
guess.
on the same scale.
Basically the same thing. Wizards of the Coast now owns D&D Beyond.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Not gonna lie,
Yay.
before this news, I didn't even realize that they didn't own it.
Yeah,
I knew.
Because I mean, that was my gripe. Which now, like, our gripes make so much sense. That no wonder why we didn't get discount codes.
I feel like we've brought that up on the cast, like, because I know that that's like the main reason I've always heard levied in like online sites.
Well, what
for
confused me is
why
like,
they're not, or why you can't do that is like, well, it's a different company and they got to pay Wizards for contracting. And
I just
so-
never looked it up. But one thing I was confused about is because Wizards had hired developers well before this, like years ago when D&D first started getting the licensing, I guess, for D&D Beyond. So WotC had on staff developers for another company. That's probably why I thought they owned them, because I remember the hiring for D&D Beyond developers.
Mhm. And it's possible that they did something like lay the framework and then just kind of passed it off, sold what they had or something out, or scrapped whatever they did and decided to give it to somebody else.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. About time, though. Like, this is the best news.
Yeah. And there's just so many D&D news. We also got a bunch of D&D Direct announcements. Some highlights include Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, where we're getting a bunch of culturally diverse adventures, including one based on Dia de Muertos, which makes me very excited. The Dungeons and Dragons movie now has the title Honor Among Thieves and will be coming out March 3rd, 2023. And they also announced the new rebooted Spelljammer adventure, which I'd never heard of before, but a lot of people were really excited about it.
Yeah. I was in the same boat as you there. I've never heard of this, and everything I saw online was like, this is the most most wanted module coming to the thing. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yep. Yeah. So of all of the upcoming and potential upcoming D&D things, what are you most excited for?
The movie.
I'm really hopeful for the movie.
No,
Like,
I'm not most.
Like, I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm very hopeful for whatever it's going to be. Like, I feel like we don't know anything about it. We haven't gotten a trailer, like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm hopeful for that. And then having learned a lot about Spelljammer in the past like 48 hours or whatever, it looks super cool. I love sci-fi. And so kind of any excuse to take D&D into like almost like a Treasure Planet type aesthetic, I'm super excited about. I liked the idea of like pirates in space kind of thing. So I'm pretty happy with that announcement.
I don't know. I don't have any specifics right now. Like I watched it. It just made me excited for D&D things in general. Yeah. Looking forward to new races. It's gonna be exciting. Look forward to encountering them. And yeah, well, we're gonna have to get back into our campaign because I have so much more new things to throw in there.
I think the thing I'm most skeptical about is the movie. I'm hopeful, but skeptical. I haven't even seen the old D&D movie.
Really?
I've only heard.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the old one either.
You know, I have no hope or whatever. Like, I want it to be almost as corny. I don't know. Like, it shouldn't be good. Like, to me, like if it's good, it's bad. Like, good is a bad thing in a D&D movie case, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I just did like a Google image search for the movie, and oh man,
It's
oh man,
it's out there. But yeah, like to me, a D&D movie shouldn't. It needs to be a little corny and cheesy because those are the types of characters everyone plays and they're going to be familiar with, and it should reflect that in the movie, in my opinion. But that's me. I don't know. I don't want it to take itself too seriously. Is my point.
The way you're describing it, I'm envisioning another Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a Knight's Tale, but with more actual fantasy elements. I'd be so pro that.
Yeah.
Some random obscure product placement that doesn't make sense in the time scheme.
Some rock and roll.
And some rock and roll and well, yeah, what's the bard supposed to play? Be an actual bard? That doesn't make sense.
I think they said in the D&D Direct that it's supposed to be based on the Sword Coast stuff.
We're just gonna throw up some screenshots from the original
So
movie up
that's
here.
pretty cool. I like Sword Coast from the little bit that I know about the like official D&D modules, but Sword Coast seems cool. But I don't know. I feel like this is the go in with moderate expectations.
Yep. What I'm actually excited for is definitely Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. I'm just really excited.
If you guys get a chance, look at this screen capture.
Oh, that beholder.
That beholder is it's perfect.
Oh man, choices were made.
I mean, that was probably pretty good for its time. What is that? 2000.
2000.
I mean, CG wasn't.
Is it good though?
Is it good or is it Ready Player 2?
Like they made an attempt, you know. It was an early attempt. We'll just call it that. We're not saying it's good, but you know, they had to try something. It's like, how else are you gonna get him on the screen?
Something else.
Anything
else.
Blow it up. It's so bad. See, that's why there's like extra blur on it, because it makes it like when it's on a moving picture, it makes it look better. Yep. It just looks really bad on a screen grab.
It's not good. Okay. But I'm also excited to see where D&D Beyond is going to go now as well. Like I've seen a lot of people hoping for like maps and things like that, like the in-app playability.
Kind of see it become its own Roll20.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like would be like a huge direction for them to go. Like they already have the encounter builder. They already have a lot of that like base level integration. And it would be super cool if they could do, again, you purchase the adventure path, you get these maps also, like all of these kinds of things. Like even if they couldn't go back and do it retroactively, but like if it was something that they could do going forward for any new modules and stuff like that, I feel like that would be such a huge win.
I just want a little discount code. That's all I want. All right. All right. Every physical book purchase comes with a gift card to D&D Beyond.
Listeners, let us know what you're excited about for Thor: Love and Thunder, or for D&D, or I guess just in general, how do you feel about the whole Twitter thing? And if you were Elon Musk, what would you have done with $44 billion, and why is it in world hunger? But with that, we are going to go to our announcements, and then this week, what do we have going on stream-wise?
All right. I'm probably not streaming tomorrow night because I have to read.
What if you streamed yourself reading?
I could do that. There are reading sprints. That is a thing that we could do. I'll think about it.
We are changing up our content, so.
Yeah.
So maybe find me here tomorrow for reading sprints. Yeah. Bring some tea.
Bring some tea. Bring your own book.
Yes. I will not be reading out loud.
Oh, I was wanting you to do the voices.
No.
For me, I should be streaming on Sunday. Probably be playing some Streets of New Capenna drafts on Arena. And so that's my goal right now. And so it might be a little up in the air timing wise. I'm not 100% sure. I might try to go do some sort of release thing with a friend of mine. So we'll see. But should be streaming, playing more Magic. So
I am completely dependent on weather. So
because if it's nice weather, you might be in a helicopter.
Exactly. Pretty much. Or on the motorcycle, more likely. Don't think Pat's going to call me right away anytime soon to go flying, but maybe. Who knows? Unless Nick comes to visit, maybe he'll take us both up. I don't know. But yeah, I may be traveling this weekend if weather. I may be going camping by traveling. I may be off in the forest.
Forest time.
Mountain
And then
time.
this Thursday, 6:45 Mountain Time, back here on Twitch, we will be doing book club for The Robe. Did we specifically try to start this in March so that we could definitely be done before the week of? Yes. Are we all done? As last I heard, no. At least 3/4 of us are not done. So here we are. But we will be back. Apparently there will be hot takes. So tune in Thursday night for that book club. So, and then as I said at the top of the show, no top 3 this week. We're gonna wrap up the show, and then we are going to talk about some of the new content that we have coming. And so, so with that, listeners, as always, you can find us as One Geek 411 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social medias. You can join our Discord server if you want to chat. Post those Wordles, post those memes, and stuff like that. And then you can also send us an email at 1stgeek411@gmail.com and check out our Redbubble store. Watch live on Twitch, and you can find the videos over on our YouTube. We can like, comment, and subscribe. And then you can also find us on our personal social media. Mine is Humar Whittle.
I'm the Hoot and Howl on Twitter and Hoot and Howl Tales, TALES on Instagram.
And I'm not so foreign.
And it's been a great week.
Take a nap.
Read a book.